Estamos aquí en un nuevo video de un nuevo juego llamado Until Dawn. Ajá. Como ven, yo ya me terminé la historia. Hay literalmente 11 botones de la animación. Ustedes me van a decir un número y yo voy a ver cuál es el que más votado está. Por ejemplo, si el 9 es el más votado, voy a jugar el número 9. 5 o el 5. 4 el 4. El 11 el 11. Pero ahora vamos a ver esto de contenido extra, que son videos. Son 9 videos que vamos a poder ver. Y ustedes van a decirme de cuál empezamos. ¿De dándole vida o conoce al reparto? ¿Sí? Para mí, conoce al reparto sería el mejor. Nosotros vamos a ver primero conocer el reparto y si quieren. A ver, pues por cierto, es en inglés.
I am Hayden Panettiere, and we are here at the studio recording Until Dawn.
My name is Rami Malek, and I play Josh.
My name is Megan Martin.
My name is Brett Dalton.
My name is Antonella Lentini, and I played Hannah and Beth.
My name is Jordan Fisher, and I play the character Matthew, Matt for short.
I'm Nicole Bloom, and I play Emily in the game.
My name is Noah Fleiss.
I am Galadriel Steinman, and I play Ashley.
So, Until Dawn is the story of 8 teenagers who revisit this cabin in the woods about a year later after a really traumatic experience where I've lost 2 of my sisters. So kind of get some closure in that respect.
One of the things that Larry does really well is make these multi-layered characters, and I think for just the story in general, it follows the quintessential horror film plot lines, but the characters are so unique in themselves, and I think that's very cool.
This was the right thing to do.
What?
You know, getting everyone together on the anniversary. I mean, Josh seemed really pumped about us all doing something, didn't he?
Yeah, no, he definitely did. I haven't seen him so excited about something in forever.
Good. Sam and I have a few things in common, such as being huge lovers of animals, and she's a huge animal lover. She's vegan. She is a pacifist. I'm not quite sure if I'm gonna go as far as saying that I'm a pacifist, but she's spunky and cool. I know that she, I think, is made fun of a little bit by the rest of them who...
Just move over there. Go on, move. Let me say what I came to say. I'm here to tell you what you're up against being back on this mountain. You should never have returned. I don't know why you did after what happened last year.
You mean with Hannah and Beth?
Yeah, how could you know without being involved?
I don't take kindly to you kids coming up here to my mountain.
Your mountain.
The mountain don't belong to me, it's true. But it don't belong to the Washingtons. This mountain belongs to the Wendigo.
Hi, this is Lee Robinson, production designer at Supermassive Games. Understanding the ancient myths of the Wendigo was key for their development that helped the visual look. Through sketches and concepts, these elements were visualized, such as eyes being milky, almost dead, with loss of lips and eyelids due to frostbite, fangs growing and arms and legs getting longer, with skin hardening and thickening to look snarling and menacing, yet withered and lean.
What the hell was that? Another face of
Fingers and toenails extending like claws, allowing them to climb effortlessly. We made them look gaunt and weathered, and having ragged remains of clothes they wore, blood-stained and rotten, with patches of hair still remaining. They retained strong skeletal limbs, which enable them to be agile and quick through the environment.
Where are you?
My name is Jamie Gallipo, animation director at Supermassive.
You're not a fucking bad dream.
The overall direction on the creature was to be very strong, to be extremely fast. We wanted a spider-like movement to the creature. 1 minute scampering to leaping and then crawling, almost instantaneous. And finally, we wanted the creature to have this real, uncontrollable thirst for flesh.
From a sound design perspective, the Wendigo is a real challenge. For the main vocalisations of the Wendigo, we used our own vocalisations, various different animals from the exotic to the farmyard, various plugins and processes to gel these sounds together and keep a human resonance behind that voice, telling the backstory of the Wendigo. During the chase sequences, the anger of the Wendigo is felt by encircling breaths, screams and screeches that essentially chase you as you're being chased by the Wendigo. We would layer them up in a multitude of layers, sometimes 15, 20 sounds playing at the same time, to build up the vocalizations for this fearsome creature which is always in attack mode, hyperactive and chasing you throughout the game.
¿Ya terminó? ¡Tan cortita! Yo creí que iba a durar más, hasta llegar a los 10 minutos. Pero qué diablos. No. Esto lo voy a hacer para otro video.
My name is Will Biles, Executive Creative Director of Until Dawn. The first part of getting a believable facial performance in-game is to capture, topographically, the actor's range of emotional expressions as separate versions of the same head. Every tiny nuance gets digitized and merged, effectively creating a model that can recreate every facial movement that the actor makes. Once the topography has been recorded, the actor's performance itself can be captured by using a predetermined set of marker points drawn precisely on the face and a high-def helmet cam, wirelessly linked to capture devices. The camera is the small box where it looks like the microphone should be.
Outro Sam. Mark.
It records in high def the movement of the dots throughout the performance that will drive the expressions captured earlier. Unlike other systems, this form of capture is far less lossy because there are fewer interpretations between performance captured and performance rendered finally in-game. The audio is also recorded via two separate lavalier mics attached to the helmet. It takes a while for the actors to acclimatise to carrying around the recording devices and the helmet cams, but very soon the shoot becomes similar to any other effects shoot or a green screen shoot. The actors in these scenes are only recording facial animation, but use cursory body movements for pacing.
Wait, and maybe we should all stick together and find everybody and make sure they're all okay, so...
1-1, the year before the prank. Take 2, Mark.
Other than the other actors, they have to use their imagination for everything and everywhere that they are supposed to be seeing and feeling.
Idiot! So dumb!
From a hot midday studio in Los Angeles to a freezing midnight mountain in British Columbia.
Until Dawn is a game that's full of horror, and one of the things we decided to do early on was to take a scientific approach to how scary it was. So we did experiments on people and we measured their responses to the game. We've created a test area. It's as close to a home setup as we can get it. We've recruited ordinary people to play the game and we've left them to play it on their own.
You're turning the light on.
The only difference is it's rigged with cameras and microphones that relay the data through to the next room where people are watching them play. bracelet here we use for biometric testing. It measures the player's emotional response. It's called a galvanic response sensor. It makes contact with the user's skin and it measures the electrical conductivity across their skin. It's the same principle as an old-fashioned lie detector. When you're stressed, you sweat a little, very sensitive, and picks up tiny changes if the player is feeling anxious or scared. That data's fed back to a testing team, it comes through as a graph.
So sorry.
There's no point testing one or two people, you have to test a lot of people.
Watch your step.
When we have a scare that's consistently has a measurable emotional response, then we knew it was good. If it didn't have that, it goes back to the team for improvement. The data doesn't tell us what's wrong with the scare, it only tells us if it's working or not.
Wait, okay, so you hear that too, right? Josh.
Here we have a chapter relatively early in the game.
Weirdly regular.
Nothing regular about it.
We have to create tension and anxiety in the player so they are ready to receive the scare. Give the player time to recover, to cool down, to calm down, and then start building the tension again before we do the next scare.
Hey.
What?
Hey.
What the hell?
Ooh, you just got mugged.
Yeah, I have such an adrenaline high from that game.
There's two things we found. One is we could look at the scares, analyse if our expected scares were working effectively. Were people shrieking and covering their hands, or were they getting an emotional response from it? And being scientific about it means that we strip out people's opinions about whether things are working or not. We've got data, and we look at the data. If it's working, we're happy with it.
Pretty scary.
Bit scared and wanting to get away.
I actually be maybe a bit scared to play it on my own, but
in a room with the lights on, yeah, with some other people as well, yeah, maybe.
But because I'm a scaredy cat, I would play with someone in the room. And the lights on.
It was one of the scariest games I've played in a long while.
Este es el que más me deja para el próximo episodio.
Because Until Dawn has a dynamic, ever-changing story, the facial performances and the body performances are recorded separately, with different systems. With the body capture, we use reflective bead suits and an infrared camera matrix system that drives the CG bone hierarchies in our character models. These performances cover everything from character locomotion, scene-specific performances and stunt work, most of which was recorded at studios in Pinewood and Shepperton, near London.
Hannah! Hello?
Combining all the elements seamlessly in the final game becomes a formidable editing and logistical task. Every variation, both physical and emotional, must be combined in these multi-edits. Scaffolding props have to stand in for the sets, because the hundreds of infrared cameras have to be able to see all of the reflective beads on the actor.
Quiero llegar a los 10 minutos, quiero llegar a los 10 minutos, quiero. Esto lo voy a dejar para el próximo. Esto va a tener un vídeo solo. Y lo van a ver ustedes solo. Yo no te diré como con una hamburguesa. La banda sonora. Es que me queda la banda sonora. Y creo que no más. Me paso de los 10 minutos. Esto